I'm delighted to welcome to the show today the very, very lovely Estelle Keeber, who is co-founder of Mums in Business Association. Well, welcome to the show, Estelle.
Thank you so much for having me, Elaine.
Most welcome. So, Mums in Business Association, tell us a bit about that to start with. Why did you set it up? What's it do?
Okay, so if we go right back to before Mums in Business even started, I was a single mum to two boys, and I had just set up my own wedding photography business. And I was feeling so many different pressures. I'd ended up becoming self-employed because I couldn't find a job that fit around me needing to be at home with the boys now as a solo parent. But I didn't realize all of the different struggles that were going to come as part of running my own business and being self-employed. I was under this crazy notion that I was just going to take photographs of beautiful weddings and that would be it. But that wasn't the case. And during this time, I was speaking to my sister Leona, who was in network marketing at the time. And she was also expressing her sort of concerns about the isolation of being self-employed is clearly apparent across the board, because it wasn't just myself that was feeling it. She was feeling it being a mum that worked from home as well. So we decided to set up a Facebook group in June 2017, because we felt that if we felt this isolation, that other people might be feeling it too. So we wanted to try and bring together women who were going through the struggles of being a mum or a woman in business, and give them a safe space and community to be themselves. And that was in June 2017. Since then, we've now grown our Facebook group to around about 51,000. And that's our main Facebook community. And those women are from all around the world. We have members from 23 different countries. So we've been able to bring together women from all over the globe, and they all have one thing in common, in the fact that they want to learn and support and be around other amazing women. And off the back of that, we've now created child-friendly networking events, because as mums and women, we knew it was difficult to network, and these things were often at awkward times when we couldn't be there. So we now have child-friendly networking events which are in over 200 locations around the world. And we also share all of our favorite tips and tricks of being in business, the things that we've learned along the way in creating MIBA. We now share those in different trainings as well. So we kind of cover a lot of bases. We started as a Facebook group, but we cover a lot of bases now as well. We've also helped 120 women become Amazon #1 best-selling authors. So we're just kind of a community that want to help, support, and empower as many of the women as possible.
Well, that's remarkable success and growth in a very short space of time. So how have you managed to reach 51,000? I mean, that's a tremendous amount of women. So 51,000, how did you get from 0 to 51,000?
I think because people organically share. So one of the most important things for us was that we hadn't spent any money on advertising or boosted posts on Facebook or Instagram. People were organically sharing the group because they were genuinely wanting other women to come and be a part of it. And I think that is what has grown the group so massively, because it's just like a huge community of women wanting to support and empower other people. A lot of other groups can be very cliquey, or there's so many politics within a lot of groups, whereas within MIBA you're very safe. There's lots of people. It's like a huge directory of people. If you need some help with branding, you can go there and you can find an expert. You basically have access to 51,000 women at your fingertips.
Pretty cool. Saying about rules and things on Facebook groups, I actually came out of two groups. I went in, I was invited into a couple of other ladies groups. I can't even remember what they're called now, but they were both connected, these groups. And I came out after 48 hours because I didn't adhere to their rule. There were so many darn rules, and You had to click this, do that. It was like, oh, it's ridiculous. And every day of the week, I was supposed to do something else, and then check other people's pages and write things in certain way. It was ridiculous. So I just said, I'm sorry. I'm obviously not very good at this. Best take me out of these groups. And
It's about finding somewhere where you fit. I think
yeah,
that's so important, is finding somewhere where you fit. And I think so many people feel that they fit with MIBA because we offer so much support and guidance. And for anybody that's in the group and are like, of course, we're going to get certain people that are going to have, views that others are not going to like. And, it's dealt with very quickly. We're not saying that that doesn't happen, because it does, but we try and make it as safe a community as we possibly can. And I think this is what's helped us grow to the level that we have.
which is very sensible. I got told off. This woman who ran the group told me off. I felt like a scolded little schoolgirl. Anyway, there we
We
go.
have rules, we everywhere has rules. We have rules in our group. You can't post links. We have a specific day when you can actually share your link, because otherwise it would just get chaotic. We go through, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of posts posted to the group every day. Imagine if we let every post through with a link that was selling something. It wouldn't be a supportive community anymore. It would be a place where people go to sell, and that's not what our community is about. So we all have rules, but we try and be as flexible and as fair as we can be.
Very sensible. So how do you manage to keep sane and avoid burnout when you've got 200 groups as well to run? Or do they manage themselves? How do they work?
We have an incredible team of people that work with us now. So in each of the areas that we have our child-friendly networking events, we have a coordinator that deals with that area. So they run that group as well. So I think creating a really amazing team and surrounding yourself with people that you trust and that have the same vision as you will help in avoiding burnout, because that was one thing for me that I found really difficult. I'm an absolute control freak and I like to do everything myself. And it wasn't until I got to the point where I was so unwell that I realized that I have got to step back and I have got to start, putting more trust in our team, because they are very knowledgeable. They are incredibly skilled people. It was just that aspect of control for me that I found really difficult. And that is key now in avoiding burnout again. It gave me a massive insight into the fact that I don't have to be working 22 hours a day for the business to work. I've worked really hard for the last 2 years, and it's really now is the time for me to be reaping those rewards and, spending really good quality time with the family, taking time out for myself when I can. And I think it's a mixture of the two, realizing in myself that I can let go of the control and having around me people who can recognize and support me as well.
Which is a very important thing to recognise. A lot of people don't realise that until it's too late. A lot of the people that I've mentored over the years, they've ended up with cancer, with ME, with fibromyalgia, and every single time, guaranteed, they're high achieving, mostly women, some men as well, but mostly high achieving women who think, myself included, I fell into this trap many years ago, and you don't realize that you're kind of running to catch yourself up, and burning out, because a lot of people enjoy what they do. They don't realize how hard they're pushing their body. So avoiding burnout is crucial, but being aware of that you are in a potentially vulnerable state to get burnt out is massive. So well done to you to avoiding burnout, but although you got close to it. So do you get anxious at all? The fact that you're now you're kind of delegating and allowing people to do things that you normally would have done. How do your anxiety levels feature on the scale?
To be honest, I suffer really badly with anxiety anyway. But over the last 6 months, I've been trying lots more alternative therapies. I've also been learning some amazing techniques through hypnotherapy. So to be honest, I'm managing the anxiety really, really well right now. And this is something, like I say, that's affected me a lot of my adult life. And with all the pressures of being a co-founder of a global business, I think this is the perfect time for me to start learning about the tools and resources that are available to me for me to take that level of anxiety down. And again, this was just a growing point when I got to that point of, I was ready to burn out, if that happened, I wouldn't be able to work, perhaps for months at a time, rather than taking a week or so off at the time and really focusing on what can I do going forward to avoid me becoming unwell. And anxiety is another thing that if I'm anxious, my body is, having those horrid chemicals running around it that are going to cause me even more stress, and they're going to make me feel worse. So it's a kind of a vicious circle that I just try to avoid now and put things in place so that it avoids me getting there in the first place.
What are your top tips then, Estelle, for avoiding the anxiety levels that you used to suffer with?
I think, first of all, for me, breathing is really important. So actually really focusing on your breathing and stopping, just taking some time out. I really like to meditate and do yoga, but I know not everybody has the time for that. So even just taking time out to sit and take some really deep breaths. People don't stop to take deep breaths. We just breathe because it's a function of our body. We don't stop. And if you just take that minute or so out to just stop and take some really nice deep breaths, what you're doing then is just giving your body a chance to, reboot. It's like switching your computer on and off. So that would probably be one of my tips. My second tip, I love essential oils. So whether I'm feeling that I need to be motivated, if I need to, relax myself before I go to bed, I think essential oils are a great way for you to enhance how you're feeling. So if, like I say, sometimes I need to have a bit of an uplift, and I will have I don't know, like lime, a nice zesty oil in my diffuser, or I will have it ready to put on my pulse points in a roller bottle. So essential oils are one of my key tools as well. And I think just making sure that you take time out, which I know, and I really genuinely do know, is so difficult when you're a mum in business, or even if you're a man listening to this, I'm sure you have your own struggles and your day is super busy too. But what I find now, I literally plan it into my calendar. It's non-negotiable. The times that I want to go to the gym, I will book into my calendar. There is nothing that's going to move that. The same with my yoga classes. It's about making sure that you take yourself as a priority, because if you're not taking care of yourself, everything else is just going to come crumbling down behind you.
Indeed, it's a case of put your own oxygen mask on first, isn't it? Because that way you can help more people. Indeed.
Definitely.
So a couple of songs I ask guests to choose. You've chosen Alanis Morissette with Ironic, and Tom Walker, You and I. Why did you choose those two songs, Estelle?
Ironic is a song that just takes me back to being a teenager. It's one of the songs that I just love to sing really loud in the car. And I think it just lifts everyone's mood up when, you can sing along. I don't know, they actually have albums of songs, don't they, that you can sing in the car. Obviously, some are more singable than others. But I think Alanis Morissette is a really good one to get you singing and increase all those happy endorphins in your body. And the Tom Walker track is one of the tracks that I'm going to be having played at my wedding when I head over to Cyprus with Chris in later on this year.
Fantastic. I wish you very well with the arrangements for that, and best of luck with keeping your anxiety levels, as I'm sure they might be under control now. But weddings, I've had 3 of them myself, so I know how anxiety does kick in when you're trying to keep everybody happy. So hopefully that will, I'm sure it will go well. Do you still do your wedding photography? Do you have time to do that?
I don't do the wedding photography anymore, but again, going back to the stress levels, we're heading off to Cyprus. It's just going to be Chris and myself and our 4 children. So again, this was because I didn't want the anxiety of having so many other people to try and please. Our wedding day it's just about us and our families coming together. And so this is why we've made the choice to go to Cyprus, because I know that that's just one way that I'm going to take my anxiety down again. So, I'm all over it. It was a really hard lesson to learn when I nearly burnt out, but so many amazing things I've learned since.
Brilliant. That's excellent. Anything else you want to share before we close? Health-wise, and how running your business, and top tips for mums.
I think just taking time for yourself, as busy as you may get, even if this is like 5 minutes peace and quiet, you want to read a chapter of a book, go call a friend, whatever it is, just take 5 minutes today. Like, let this podcast be a little trigger to you. Think to yourself, what am I going to do that's going to, give me a little smile today? Take 5 minutes for yourself, because it's so important. Everybody else relies upon you. So you need to make sure that you're fit and healthy in mind, body and spirit.
Wonderful. So contact details, Estelle, how do people get hold of you? And you've referred to MIBA, which is a shortened version of Mums in Business Association, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You can join our Mums in Business Association Facebook community over on Facebook. You can also find us on Instagram, or you can go and check me out. My Instagram handle is Estelle Keeber Official. And you can find out everything that's going on behind the scenes in my life, in the run up to the wedding, and at MIBA HQ.
And the spelling of your surname for listeners?
Keeber, Keeber.
Great. So that's Estelle Keeber on Instagram, and Mums in Business Association on Facebook group. They're the two easy ones for us to remember.
Yes, Estelle Keeber Official.
Oh, Estelle Keeber Official. Okay, on Insta.
That's the one.
All right. I call it. I don't actually go on there. I don't have a great deal of time to, because I'm mentoring people through health issues and so on and so forth. So my PA, the lovely Jessica Prime, looks after. I call it Insta Granny because I am a granny. So it's Insta Granny to me.
I love that.
So I won't be seeing you on Insta Granny, but I'm sure I will be seeing you again on the MIBA Facebook group. So thank you very much, Estelle Keeber from Mums in Business Association.
Thank you so much for having me on.